end of the year recap. This episode, we do this pretty much every year, and we just talk about all the stuff that we did and learned throughout the year. And we did a lot of shit this year, so
it definitely was going through your head. It wasn't the start that I was initially hoping for, planning on,
especially for your first marathon.
Yeah, especially for that marathon, that distance. So it was just all off guard. It was kind of just like I was just in the like, oh, go. We just got to go. We just got to get across the start line. We have to start. Before I get freaking DQ'd at
Yeah.
That was like, yeah, that's a goal. Sure, yeah, we'll get there someday. We'll get there.
And it's like everything else we've talked about. Like, one day we'll get a shop.
Yeah,
but not really believing it. Kind of just saying
same deal. Yeah, same.
You know what I mean?
And sometimes the expectation is not the same. Like the gym thing. Look, it's here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not quite what I thought initially. What you were talking about, but it's here. It's already started.
And it's every
just
time
like everything else. It's like it might not be what you thought it was. But it's here.
Yeah. And it starts at something, and then it turns into what we want it to be. You know what I mean? Yes. That's what I felt like it's always been. So. It's time we unite. Put our differences aside. And fight for our lives. I said the haters in the mall way before the sunrise. Let's go. What is up, guys, and welcome back to the Nesian Built Podcast. Baldy Boys back for another episode, and this is episode number 42. 42. We're the Pacific Islanders podcast, where we tell you our stories and our lessons of our journey to help you on yours. End of the year recap, basically this episode.
Yep. As usual.
Yeah. We do this pretty much every year. And we just talk about all the stuff that we did and learned throughout the year. Yeah. And we did a lot of shit this year. So
yeah, I was going to say, it was a busy year.
It should be entertaining and somewhat educational, I guess. Learn from our mistakes and, the stuff that we did to, try and grow and better ourselves and, grow our business. And,
which definitely happened this year.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And we'll talk about that too. It's been a big year for us in a bunch of ways, not just, with the types of stuff we're doing, outside of Nesian Built, for our personal growth, but also just the brand growing itself. So, we'll talk about that. But we want to talk about something that we just did that just kind of happened. Yeah, it's pretty fresh in the mind. And we posted on social media about it if people were following. And, we had what was the date of that? December 1st. December 1st. Mark ran his first marathon. As you can see,
I got the finisher sweater on today. I was like, I'm going to wear this.
He's official, guys. He ran his first marathon.
Full marathon.
Yeah, first full marathon. Last year in Seattle, we did the half marathon. And last year...
Completely different experience.
Yeah. So last year we talked about it, and he was just like, oh, was it 2 years ago when you said? I was like,
I think it was 2022.
Yeah, you're like, let me run the half, and then we'll see after that. Yeah. And then you ran the half, and like, we're gonna do a full. So he had a full year to train, right? Full year to train, but he probably only trained. I didn't train the
full year though. I had the year, sure, but did I train the whole year? No.
So what was it like, though? What was it like? First, I want to hear your experience with the training first, because that's always the thing that gets people, right? The training is the part that's rough.
Yeah.
So how was that? How was the training?
The training this time around versus the half marathon, it's definitely different. Way more miles. I was looking at the training plan ahead, and I'm like, whoa. 13 was the most I ever did at that point, and then it's at the 15 to 16, 18, 20. It was a little intimidating, but I think the training is ultimately what helped me get through to the finish line of the full. You know what I mean? Just hitting all those long distance milestones for the most part. It definitely gave me the confidence to know that, shit, even though it hurts, dude, I'm going to make it. So, but the training was stressful, so much time for me, especially for me, because I'm a slower runner. So when it came to those, especially the long run days, just hours out there, running by myself, hurting, but also learning, a lot of learning, because, I see things on YouTube. I've seen you go through a lot of things, so a lot of that helped. You know what I mean? But then going through it by myself and knowing those things, it was cool. It was it was good to go through it myself instead of just seeing it, through other people. So huge eye opener. But it definitely helped me push through pain that I normally would have stopped had I not, seen you go through it, watch all these videos of other people going through it. I would have definitely stopped a long time. If this was just my idea, no way, bro. I wouldn't even made it through the 5K, bro, honestly. But it was good. It was good. It was stressful, but it was a good stress.
Yeah.
It definitely, especially days that I missed, stressing out about that, because I definitely missed a lot of days. But trying to prioritize it, make time for it. It's just a long, lonely road. It felt like,
yeah.
But it was still good. It was honestly, it was fun going through it.
But you felt like, because I always think that the training is the part that's, like I told you before, even when we talked about it, it's like the training part sucks because that's 16, 20, 24 weeks, whatever the hell you put into it, right?
It was 18 weeks was my...
So 18 weeks of just making sure that you just get out there and you put in the miles. And it is a lot of time. And it's and there's a lot of days where you just don't want to do it, or you don't know how you're going to get to it with everything that's going on, especially like, during the summer, when the summer is nice and you want to go do stuff with the family, or you want to, just other plans. How am I going to fit this in, right? How am I going to adjust? So that, and then you just don't feel like it a lot of the time. Majority of the time, you don't feel like, fuck, why am I going to go out there for, 3 hours and run, 2 hours and run? But you have to end up doing it, especially when you have that goal at the end. Because we've talked about many, many times. If you don't do it now, you're going to feel it then, and during that race. If you don't quit, right? If you don't quit before actually getting to that date, you're going to feel whatever you didn't do in the training. Yeah. And a lot like you, like when we went for our first marathon, like we said before, longest run for me and for all of us was 16 miles. So I
that's
think,
wild.
And I think Jewel did an 18-mile run, he said, but that part, it's that big, you have that unknown, going into it. Like there's still 10 more miles, bro. Haven't explored. And it just seems so big, but like that's the same way, like when you did the half marathon, right? You opened up something there, right? That was the furthest. And then as you go through training, you start at 15, like, oh, I can't do 15. Then you hit an 18, a 20-mile run. And it's just keep on building, and you keep seeing like, dude, I can do this shit. Like I can keep pushing further.
Even though it hurt, even though it sucked. When I got done with the 16, I think it was, or 18 miles, my feet were killing me. Even though it hurt, even though it sucked though, it still gave me the confidence to know that, okay, I can definitely get to the next one.
Yeah. So like when you ran in like 15 miles, right? Yep. Were your feet hurting then?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, but even with that like that's the pain you have to go through to get through to the next level or the next, mileage point that you need to reach, right?
Yeah. That's what I felt too. As soon as I got to that milestone, it's like, okay, I'm here now. It's just a little bit further to the next one. Yeah. That's all. I can do the 15 now. I just need 3 more miles to get to the 18. And then from the 18 to the 20, just 2 more miles. Yeah. It's like, so that's how I kind of looked at it. Yeah,
and the thing about, like, I always like, so I always talk about like what I like about marathons and marathon training is it's such a roller coaster with everything. It's not just the training, cycle that you're doing. It's even within the run itself. It's within every day that you're running. It's within the race itself when you're in the race. It's just a cycle of emotions that you're going through, physical pain that you're going through, and sometimes you feel like you're just going and you're just kind of smooth sailing and nothing hurts. Everything feels great. Next thing you know, why am I breathing so hard? Why are my legs tightening up?
Heart rate's going up.
Heart rate's going up. You're feeling dehydrated. Something might cramp. Like, you go through all of that and then you learn how to start dealing with it. The more and more you expose yourself, and especially in the training sessions, the more you learn how to deal with, those things in, the race. Yeah. So it's kind of like with Seattle, like this dude, I don't remember Seattle being as rough as it was like the first time I did it. Yeah. And this one felt like the course was majority hills. Like it was just hills everywhere, and it was long hills. Like
this course was slightly different from the very first one, right?
Oh yeah. It was. It felt like
I thought.
The beginning we were going backwards from like where the ending started from 2-3 years ago.
The Husky Stadium.
Yeah, that when we finished at Husky Stadium, it felt like we were going backwards. But the end of especially the last 13, there was just so many miles of hills, and then you get to the Green Lake. Was it Green Lake? Right? Green Lake it was nice because it's flatter, but it also is like messing with your head because you're like it feels like you're just running in circles and you're not getting anywhere. At least that's what I felt like in there.
Yep. And you got to loop it like twice or
Yeah,
something like that.
it felt really weird. I've never ran there before, so I don't know like where we actually were while we're out there. But and then once you get out of there, then you're immediately hitting another climb. Like you're just, and that's where I just saw a lot of people like right when they came out of there and they saw that hill was coming up,
slow down,
start walking. And I was very like going into this one, I told myself, I just want to run comfortably 4:10. I'm in the mindset now, like I know I can finish a marathon. Like I don't want to go in with that mindset, just finish it and with any time. Like for me, I'm going into it to find something within myself. Like I want to push myself, not PR push myself every time, but there needs to be some kind of pain that I need to push past and overcome to keep to stay within a goal that I want, at least. I can't go out there and I just, even if like I tried, to go out and just, finish it. Like for me, it's like there has to be some kind of battle that I want to like challenge myself with within this race. Like I always want to grow. Like in this, I grew also with that marathon. It wasn't a PR or nothing, right? But it's battling those hills, knowing, dude, like I just Tacoma Marathon, I ran a 4:07 and I almost died. I felt like I was dying because all the stuff I was going through. But I learned from that, right? Seattle had crazy amount of hills and I ran a 4:07 comfortably. All I was doing was, the only problem was I was cramping, bro. Like I was cramping really bad and that slowed me down a lot.
That surprised me when you told me that, when you called.
What?
Coming from, you're like, yeah, we were cramping too. Because I told you I was dealing with cramps up there.
It's just so much on your, on your quads and your hamstrings. Like there's a lot of hills. You're going up and down and you're climbing a lot. But I was really like, I could feel the difference in the the amount of work that I've put in and the miles that I've ran, that I was taking it pretty well until mile 24. And that's a long time within the race, that until I actually felt something or felt some pain. And it's not that I'm running fast or nothing. I'm not as fast as a bunch of people there. Like, but the fact that, 2-3 years ago, my body was not able to do that. Like I was not going to be pushing even a 9-minute miles up hills like that. There's no way. And I just think that it's cool to see your physical and mental progress to get through and push through that stuff, because that shit is hard and it's fucking it's demoralizing when you can't push yourself as much as you want to push yourself. But if you haven't pushed your body through certain tests and push it to always challenge it, then it's gonna give up. It's not gonna be able to handle that test, right?
That's what I was saying earlier. Is like, had I not gone through those long runs in the training, I'd have dropped out a long time ago.
You know what I'm saying?
Long time ago.
Those things give you the confidence that when you walk into that race, that you can accomplish it because you
can at least get into new territory that you've never been before. Because every one of those long runs where you break through your initial milestone, you get to a whole new place. So. Heck was that? Someone's burning out. But yeah, so for me too, with the longest I did was 20 miles in the training. But even after 20, it's like, okay, I got to 20. Now it's new territory again. During the race. So, but I had the confidence to know that I just one foot in front of the other. Keep going. Stay on hydration and nutrition, and you'll make it.
Well, what were some first, you were already going through it that morning of getting to the race. Like you had some shit going on.
Freaking rough start. Had everything prepped the night before, just like last time. But I forgot my bib. It was on the table, and I was putting stuff in a bag, and I had covered it up with the little fanny pack that they give you at the expo. It covered it up, so I missed it on the table. So I'm driving. I get to about Auburn, and I realize, oh shoot, where's my freaking bib? And I realized I left it home. So I had to turn around. I gave myself a good amount of time, too, to get there, to find the parking, to find you guys, try to do a little warm-up or stretch. But, going back for the bib ate up all my time. So then eventually made it down there. It was a struggle to get into the parking garage that I was going for because of the road closures. But by the time I got to the very front of the parking garage, I had to hop out and let Heather, park the car. They didn't get to see me take off. I was a mess. My shoes weren't tied yet. My bib wasn't pinned on me yet. I still had my bag just kind of one arm. My brother was on the sidewalk there waiting. He got there before me. And I looked over, everyone's gone. It was like 7. I think we launched almost 10 minutes late. So I'm shuffling to the starting line. I'm going through the gate. People are taking pictures at the starting line. I think it was the
half marathon, like half marathon.
Yeah, but they had like the people to do the flags. What do you call it?
Color guard.
Yeah, color guard was there taking photos. I wasn't sure if I could still go. So I told my brother, I was like, "We're gonna cross the start line and see if the timer picks us up through the tracker." So if it doesn't pick us up, then I don't know if I'm gonna run it because for me there was no point. What the heck am I do? So we ran across the start line, checked the tracker, and it picked us up. So I was like, okay, it's time to go then. So I was still a mess. So we jogged maybe a couple 100 yards down just to get away from the starting line. And I pulled to the side, had to tie my shoes, had to pin my bin, straightened up my, hydration pack. And then it was on from there.
You're not the first person to ever go through that, do that, right? Like, so,
What's that?
Like that happening to somebody, like at a race, like
there was definitely still people even behind us.
Yeah, see, like that's why it's like
just a few, not many, but
I'm sure it's stressful. Like as you're going through it, it's like fuck.
It
like,
definitely was
going through your head.
It wasn't the start that I was initially
hoping for,
planning on,
especially for your first marathon.
Especially for that marathon, that distance. So it was just all off guard. It was kind of just like I was just in the like, oh, go. We just got to go. We just got to get across the start line. We have to start. Before I get freaking DQ'd at.
Yeah.
That's what I did. What I did not want to happen. I didn't want to get there and be like, oh, sorry, you can't run. That would have sucked, especially having everybody there.
Yeah.
But when I saw the time start, I was like, okay, it is what it is, and we just have to go now. So that's what I did.
Got to the start.
Oh
my god! The one thing he needs, he didn't need to have his shoes with him, or his water or anything. He could have just showed up with just his bib, butt naked, and he would have been able to just start the race. But no, he left the one thing that he needed, which for the race, he forgot at home.
Next time, I'm going to make sure I pin it to my shorts the night before. Lesson learned. We learn,
Yeah,
we go through life and we learn.
We prep, right? So that's why I always like that kind of stuff is always whatever you can get done that can get done the night before, get it done, because you don't want to wake up. All you want to really worry about in the morning is waking up, putting your fucking clothes on, eating, taking a shit, and getting the fuck out. Like that's Mando. But
yeah, dude.
So what was it like? Let's say mile 1 through 15. What were you feeling like mile 1 through 15?
Shoot, mile 1, man. It was like, because I had such a chaotic start. And I was running with my brother, who I never ran with before. Yeah, he's smaller than me. He could run faster than me, but he was fired up, ready to go. He was excited, so he was moving faster than I planned to. So I kept kind of reeling back. I was like, bro, I have to slow down. I cannot run this fast in the beginning. We need it for the back end. So that was kind of chaotic, kind of trying to settle in, find the pace. The heart rate's spiking. I'm looking at my watch. I'm like, dude, I'm at 160 already. That's not where I'm supposed to be, especially this early. So I think it wasn't until maybe mile 2 or 3 finally settled in, felt, okay, we're in it,
Yeah.
That's when we're at the tunnel. So felt fine there.
And it also sucked because you're literally you're starting off the race on a hill. Like, so it's an incline from the very beginning.
Incline and sort of freaking out.
Yeah.
Not entirely, but just, it was a mess. It was a messy start. But yeah, mile 3, start to feel like I was settling in. And then we saw the half marathoners caught up. The leaders of the pack caught up. They freaking zoomed past us, man. And then the rest of the crowd came. And then it felt like, okay, we're in a race. Even though they're the half marathoners. And we're the last full marathoners. We got mixed in with them. But we did good. Where the heck is mile 15? I can't remember what 15 was. But it felt good all the way up till we crossed the bridge. That last aid station. Then there's a split off between the full and the half marathoners.
Yeah.
And then we split off and go towards the UW campus. So all that felt fine. Just hit the aid stations, make sure to hydrate, keep on nutrition.
Running on the freeway and everything was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that felt fine. Once I settled in, it felt fine.
No.
The crazy part is, though, I'm glad that I did get to run it with Mike, because, man, that split off where we went to the campus, it was ghost town. There was nobody there.
Yeah. I remember
Nobody was there.
Even when I was around people, it seemed dead in there in that
It
area.
did?
Yeah, it seemed dead in the campus.
It's just quiet.
Yeah, yeah.
So and with us, there was nobody there.
Yeah, and
Maybe
I didn't have,
the end it was, but
I didn't even have music playing until mile 22, I think it was, or 20. That's when I started playing music. So
I didn't play any at all. I had my headphones, but I tried to listen to a podcast, but I just tuned out.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
I was running with Mike, talking with him, so it's like I didn't have time to listen to anything.
Yeah.
It was just trying to focus on, and then also listening to my body. I feel like sometimes the music is for me, it's a distraction.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
that's why I don't listen to music when I learned that from that last one.
Yeah.
It is nice because you're going through everything without any distractions, and but because that was kind of my idea, like me and Power running together for majority of the race.
Yeah.
And then as we kind of like spread apart, and I felt like we were probably not going to get back linked back together before we finished, so I just popped the music. Especially, and this was a point where I started to feel pains. This was where I think it was around mile 20 when I started to feel like, oh, my level is like that level is dropping, and I'm feeling it. It's like, and I like you kind of go through it and you like know, like, okay, here it is, it's coming, it's coming, fuck no, let's go. So I played my music, bro. The perfect my song played on Pandora, and I went up and I hit Green Lake, and I just went, bro, and I felt fucking gold at Green Lake. Even though I hated running in that area for some reason, I felt like gold at Green Lake.
It was a weird one.
Yeah.
Even though it was flat, I thought by the time I got to Green Lake, okay, I'm gonna use that as kind of like a recovery, could take a breather, especially from coming up Aurora. That was tough.
And you just came down Aurora, then you take the turn, and
oh yeah. Kind of spikes, and then it kind of goes down and then into it.
Yeah. So then coming back, you're, let's say, like mile 24, 20. I think it's when you're coming back on Aurora 22 to start hitting that hill coming back up, right?
Yeah.
I think it's something like that. 22, 23. So you start coming back up the hill. How did that feel? Like when you got to that point, because like you're in unknown territory again, right?
Yep.
So and you're about to hit a hill again, and knowing you still have 4 miles. Like, how did you like approach that, and how did it feel like getting to that point?
I think at that point it sucked so bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I constantly having to stop and stretch, from cramps, taking salt. Thank goodness we got the salt tablets.
Yeah.
Salt tablets, drinking water. I had to use the bathroom a couple times up there, and then but yeah. After mile 20, or when I got to that point, I think it was just survival. It was more like, I just want to fucking get this thing done, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to, in a good way, I don't want to be out here anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it felt like it taken so long already. So, but by that time, I pushed up that hill. I didn't walk it, surprisingly. It was a very slow jog, but I jogged that whole thing back up and then down Aurora.
See, that's good shit right there. Yeah. Like that's what I'm.
Because I told my brother, I was like, because when we were coming in, everybody coming out, most of them were walking up.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, we're gonna have to hit that hill on the way out, so we got to save some fucking gas for that. But surprisingly, by the time we got there, like I said, I was just like, I'm gonna get this done. I have to get to the end of the line if I want this pain to stop. So I have to push. Yeah. So that's what we did.
See, that's the cool part that you learn from training and all that, and then like managing your energy throughout the race, knowing what's going. Like, I mean, I guess that's a good way of understanding the course and what's on the course. But at the same time, like just understanding that there's going to be a lot of points where you're going to need gas, and you can't push all the time. Like especially like first time like people, I think that's what I ended up doing to myself in the first Tacoma one. It's like I pushed too hard too early, didn't fuel myself correctly, right? So I just crashed. Like I hit that wall. I obviously took the damn salt. It really messed me up. But it's really cool that you were able to manage your energy for that, because that part right there is very demoralizing, and it fucking hurts. Like that part sucked a lot, because as soon as I got there, everybody was walking. There wasn't one person when I got to that hill after Green Lake that was running. Like everybody that I saw was walking. So I told myself, I'm running up this hill, and I'm not feeling the pain like they are right now. Like I'm still in a good space. I know it's possible that it can just come at any point, but I've managed, I feel like throughout that when I get to this, that I can.
You saved enough for that.
Yeah. And I always like go back to like what I've done in training. Like over all these years, like how many miles have I ran? My body should be able to hold up to this. I mean, I'm not like no elite guy that's running 6-minute miles or nothing, right? Like that's different. Like, like if I was running that, that's a whole different race. But this is me. This is my level. What I'm doing with myself, my race, right? So like, I know with everything I've done, like I'm able to hold the pace that I would like for this to be able to keep going and not stop. Like my goal is always just don't fucking walk. You know, that's always like my goal. But you're able to manage your energy, get to that, and still be able to run when you see a lot of people just can't do that, right? So you get to the top of that, and then you just went down. Yeah, it sucks, right?
It hurt.
And then you hit downhill. You ran downhill. Yeah.
Yeah. That one, a couple times had to stop and slow it down. Cramped coming down that hill too. Yeah. So, but for the most part, then we get to the point where you kind of get to the bottom, and then it's another bridge. Yeah, that one hurt.
Another one. Yeah,
that one really hurt. That one, it wasn't even a jog. It was more like one of those what do you call those speed walkers?
Yeah.
That's the kind of form I felt like I was doing. I was out there like
shaking your ass.
But again, I was just like, I have to get through the end, and we're so close. It's like, damn, we're almost done. You know what I mean? By the time I got there.
All right, so you get into the stadium.
Yeah.
How's it feel, man? You're about to knock
Initially,
it out.
I thought I didn't make it, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, after what happened.
Yeah.
You know, but, well, maybe should I tell that part?
Yeah, let's talk. I think it's a very important part because
it definitely switched up the way I thought it was going to feel.
Yeah, the way you thought about the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So what, mile 25?
Yeah.
Something.
I think you were around there because that's
24, 25.
We were watching you the whole time, so
yeah.
We were waiting. We were all waiting for you at the finish line.
So I was talking to my wife about this not too long ago too. Not one time in the race did I ever think about just quitting, just leaving. And she was surprised. She's like, "Wow, that's amazing." Because I remember I went and did a freaking public safety test and had to run 1.5 miles. And after the first lap, I wanted to run back to my truck and go home because it hurt so bad, you know. Yeah. But not once in that race did I ever say that I'm gonna fucking stop. This is it. I'm done. I'm gonna call it. Nope. It was just keep going, get to the end, get it done, no matter what. So we get to mile 24, 25. I think it was around 25 because, we're running. The course is closing behind us. By the time we coming down Aurora, thank goodness I used the bathroom for the last time at Green Lake because I had a feeling, you know, we're coming down Aurora. They're pulling all the aid stations. All the porta potties are gone. So it's like, thank goodness I used the bathroom. But we're moving, we're going, still see some of the people waiting at the little points, the cheer points or whatever. Yeah. The race people are still there. Volunteers are still there. So we're just chugging along. Get up that last little funky bridge or whatever that is. Then I see a police motorcycle pull up, kind of pass us, stop a couple feet in front of us. I was like, oh, maybe he's just going to, watch us till we go in because I knew the roads were opening up behind us.
Kind of like escort.
Yeah, escort us in. And then a truck pulls up behind us and the guy gets out. He's like, all right, guys, I'll take you back to the starting line. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? He's like, yeah, the whatever, the freeway or whatever is opening up. So, we got to get you guys off here. But I can take you back to the starting line. I was like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? I was like, no, I thought I could, when the roads open up, we can just go on the sidewalk and finish the race there. Right? He's like, no. I was like, but aren't you guys going to leave the race or the finish line open for the last runners? He's like, oh, no, we had to break it down. He told me we had to break it down because the roads are opening up, so it's done. So at that point, I'm like, damn, dude, I'm this close to finishing and it's over. Yeah. And that's when I texted you.
You're less than a mile out. When you said,
that's when I texted you and I was like, fuck, that really sucked. It really threw me for a spin. And I sat there and argued with him for like a minute. Even my brother's like, bro, it's fine, bro. Let's just get in the truck. Because he was hurting. He wanted to go. But it was bummed. I was bummed out. So I asked him again and again, are you sure? He's like, yeah. He told me they had to break the thing down. So I had to hop in the back of the truck. There's 2 more people in there. And then we were driving. He didn't even know where the finish line was because as soon as we got in, he's like, all right, now we got to figure out where the finish line is. Mind you, it says race official or whatever on his truck. But then we just go a little bit further down the road and there was that last turn to take you up to the thing. And when he saw that, I forget what happened there, but, the passengers, oh yeah, there's the finish line over there. He's like, oh, is it that way? He's like, yeah. So, okay. So he pulls to the side, to the corner, and he lets us out. But then he takes our bib numbers. Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, there's no way. They're just gonna take our numbers and DQ us or whatever. So that's when you called me again. I think it was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You're like, dude, fuck those guys. You don't need their fucking. I was like, what do you want me to do, dude? You know, you're like, fuck it, finish it for you. So at that point, I was like, yeah, you're right. I made it this damn far.
Yeah.
I might as well.
Yeah.
So then we ran it into the stadium, but running it to the stadium, it was good. It was like mixed emotions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I didn't know what the hell to expect. As soon as I get into the stadium, I look at the clock. The clock's off.
Mm-hmm.
They're breaking down the start line, so it's just it was kind of a bummer.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Because so when you called, right, or you texted, me and Heather were talking like as you texted her, and then she's like, Mark just texted me, and then I'm like, what happened? And then I was like, oh, this guy's fucking running. Why is he texting? And then you texted me right after, and then I think you called her. I think you called Heather, or I don't know, but
she called me.
Okay, she called you, and then I was telling her,
she said the same thing. Don't stop, just go. Who cares? Just go.
Yeah, and then I think I told you. I think I called you after.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, just keep going. Fuck their metal, bro.
Yes.
Like, who cares, bro? Like, you fucking train for this. Just go. Just finish it. So I told those guys in there, I was like, I'm gonna run out and go see if I can see him. So as soon as I get out there, I see you out there, and I'm like, you're right there. They're not even closing down. Like when I was in there, they were not shutting down the finish line. So I was like, I mean, they already took all the other stuff, like the stanchions, the fencing, and stuff like that. They took that. There's still people there waiting, and there's nobody else in front of you guys. Like you guys, that's all. That's it, right? So when because it's funny because as soon as I went out to get to see where you guys were at, then I talked to you, came back in, and they're like cheering up for me to when I'm running in. I'm like, I'm already done, dog.
You started doing my shine, bro.
It was funny as hell.
That's hilarious.
But then. That's why, like, I was just like, dude, they're still in there. There's no way they DQ'd you guys. They're still in there waiting. Yeah. So, I mean, you guys come in and it's like, dude, fuck yeah, man. Like, who cares about a medal? That's just all that shit and all that them having our times and all that. That's all fucking, it doesn't matter. Like, the fact that you completed what you set out to do is what matters the most. Yeah. Like, even if because, like, I would have been really, like, especially disappointed in you or like just pissed off if you just like accepted the fact that this guy just said, oh, you're DQ'd. We're not gonna count your race or whatever, and then you just said, okay, fuck it, quit. Yeah. But like, because that shit is like, who cares about what they said? Yeah. Like the point is to run 26.2 miles, and that's what you fucking ended up doing, right? Like that's all that matters. Like, who cares about what they fucking say? Because it's all about you. Because at the end of the day, that's just numbers on a fucking computer, right? Yeah. All that shit. That's not what's really gonna make a difference in what you're able to accomplish down the road. Yeah. So that's why I was just like, finish it. I'll give you my fucking medal if you really want a medal. I'll give you mine. I don't give a fuck about this. But yeah, dude. It
was like I said. It was just it was a mixed feelings. Yeah, it was great to finish. Finally get across the damn finish line to see everybody there who stayed behind. You know, after so long. Yeah. But yeah, crossed the line. Didn't see the time, but the lady came up to me and put a medal on my neck. I was like, oh, thanks. So I did finish it. Yeah. Yeah. And then got the text message that it said I was a finisher. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to fucking take that. Because you guys took a little bit from me. I'm going to take that from you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, it was... But it was cool. It was tough. Yeah, because I mean, all of us were even... I think it was... one of the boys said, he's like, man, it's crazy that he didn't cry or anything. Because like, fuck, dude. Yeah. That shit was like... You were out there for a while, bro, and that's a long. I think I almost cried in the 18 miler by myself. Yeah, that one hurt, and I was running till it was dark out because I fucked up and started too late. Yeah, and just knowing I can go that far, it was like it was inspiring. But yeah, I definitely thought I was going to cry by the time I got to the finish line of this one. But it was such a chaotic start and a confusing end. Yeah, that's what the race was. You know what I mean? So it threw me off a little bit, but definitely for sure, if I had finished that without any of that other complicated stuff, you would have saw me crying like a baby at the finish line.
But and that's the thing that I also like wanted to like push to you. It's like, even though maybe you had to jump on the truck and fucking they were about to DQ you, like you could have still ran that. Like whatever distance that they moved you, you could have still ran that. All it was a, like
I said, there was no question of stopping. There was no quit. Yeah, even if I had to limp it in, it would have got done.
It's just whatever, and they so these guys
I think
also
they
never said
goofed it up.
yeah, they never said anything about a time limit either.
No, because I did my research. So I
Yeah.
listened to an audiobook and they had talked about make sure
some
that,
races do.
some do. And I read on their website said that, they're going to leave that starting line open or the finish line open for the last runner. Didn't matter.
Yeah.
The cutoff time for the roads was 7 hours and 30 minutes or 20 minutes. But they said at that point you move to the sidewalk and then you finish.
Yeah.
But
it should have been fine. No. Aurora's not like a it's not like a freeway. It's not like it was.
Yeah. And we were already put the part where it's like the city side.
Yeah. So that part didn't make
it was
any
confusing
sense.
as hell, dude. That's what threw me off.
I think it was it seemed more like people that just wanted to go home. They're on their own personal agenda, so they're affecting other people's stuff. Which that's why I say it doesn't matter, bro. Like, you do what you're supposed to do, but
there were other people that were more gangster than me though. I think there was like 4 people that just said fuck it. They ripped their numbers off.
I'm done.
Yeah, because he tried to pick them up.
Yeah,
like no, we're civilians at this point. Fuck off. That's what they did.
No shit.
I was like, okay, I didn't do all that, but
it's like they probably live there in Seattle. It's like I'm just going straight home.
Yeah,
like yeah.
Well,
fuck.
It was cool.
Yeah, it was a good day, man. It was really cool to see you guys pass the finish line, you and Mike, and then you accomplishing that after putting it out last year, right? Saying that you're gonna do it, and then training, and whether you skipped fucking workouts or not, which I know you did.
I definitely did. Like Paul said, I was not working as hard as you were,
but you still showed up and you did what you're supposed to do, right? Like that's always the goal, and then also to see like. What it really just that day, like it's just a culmination of everything that we've been putting together here. And I get it. It's for me. I mean, I get it. It's just like racing and running and to other people and stuff. But like for me, I see it as something that's just like so cool that like Vince and Joe coming out, and then so they also got hotel rooms, so they got to spend the day before with their families there, and then their families being there at the start line for them, and your family being there at the start line for you for your first marathon, or they weren't even there; they were at the finish line,
sort of,
because they had to park the car. But like just and then their family seeing Vince and Joe like finishing their race and going through that, and then all the training they had to do too.
Yeah.
And then seeing them accomplish that, and then also just spending the time to get together, and then also we get to sit. We all just kind of chilled out and got together, got to the finish line, and then celebrated you and Mike coming in. I fucking love that, bro. Like that's like stuff that. Because most, especially within our people, bro, most people won't fucking cheer our people on. When it comes to stuff like that, they're a lot of the time it feels like they're more willing to wait for you to fail than they are to fucking sit around and especially maybe for hours to cheer you on and then be and help you and be there to celebrate something that you did that was hard like that. So it was cool that like for me just seeing that and seeing like now Joe and Vince are already ready for Tacoma. Like they're ready for the Tacoma race. Like
that was dope that they came out this time around. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, like to show up and then they finish that, and it's the same thing. Like they didn't think they would ever do that. It might just be a race to some people, but a lot of people also wouldn't put themselves in that situation to go do something like that. So, like I just like props to you guys for like you, Mike, fucking Joe, and Vince, bro, like you guys to go out and do what you did is like it's inspiring to me too. Like I love seeing like our people do stuff like that and be able to just prove themselves wrong. You know what I mean? Like what they probably said a year ago they couldn't do, they came out and did. Like all you guys doing that, it's like the coolest shit to me. Like seeing all you guys do that stuff. So. I'm happy for you guys, and I hope that, like I always say to everybody, like I hope that when you do something like this and you accomplish something that you didn't think you could do, you just push it to something, whatever else is out there, right? And whatever else you can push yourself to that you didn't believe, you can always look back on and be like, I did this before. I'm pretty sure I could do this if I wanted to. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I'm looking forward to that, and that's gonna lead. So like me. We've already had the idea of this other stuff, right? But that's really gonna make sure that I'm pushing very hard to make things happen for next year, like this stuff that we want to do next year. But that was Seattle Marathon. We'll talk about this stuff. So that was Seattle Marathon.
Seattle Marathon in the books.
Again, that was 2024. At that, Powell also ran that day too, so they didn't want to leave him out. Powell was there. Me, Powell, So remember when we first started this is I wanted to make this a point.
The very first one?
Yeah, the very first one,
Yeah.
there was 3 of us, right, that
Yep.
ran the marathon. It was me, my wife Ching, and Jules, right? And so that started with 3. On that day, and then last year, what did we have last year is 4 of us, right? So me, you, Pao, Ching ran the half
Yes.
marathon, right?
Yep.
So that's 4. We upped it, right? So this year we had me, you, Pao, Mike, Vince, Joe.
Yep.
So there's 6 of us this year. So with what we're planning on, with what we're trying to do next year, with building that community, with what we're doing, we're hoping to have more people come out with the Nesian Bill Run Club and be part of just running your first half marathon, running your first marathon, whatever. And we'll my goal of that whole thing really is to help people build to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Because I've learned how to kind of do that. So my goal is to help other people build to be able to learn and then accomplish their first half marathon.
Pull people up.
Yeah. So helping people accomplish more and do these things, right? And then just along with that comes with more goal setting and being healthier, stronger, fitter, all that for your family. So that's just a really huge goal of mine. So next year is not and I want to put that out there. I'm not going to be going crazy on races. I don't think I want to be training too much on specific races because I want to focus on giving and that next year to more people. So, So let's start.
I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, cool. I think it's going to be really fucking cool. And I'd say I love running. I didn't at first. And then most people I would say they just definitely don't at first. Yep. And even until now, running hurts. It's always going to.
Yeah.
But then it starts feeling good. You know what I mean? At some point. And for me, I always say, lifting is that's brings out the warrior mentality. Get strong, get big, be able to move heavy things. And then running brings the peace for me. So I keep that where I can get some time where I'm basically alone and I can think and I get ideas and all kinds of stuff like that. And then you dealing with the pains of running long distance and stuff like that, and you dealing with it and managing it and continuing to go, just overcome it and go. So that's what I really enjoy about running. But that's gonna be a big part of everything we do next year. But let's go ahead and start with what we did this year real quick, and then what we learned and what we can take from it, basically. To that, I think a lot of things that whatever we started with, it propelled us throughout the year continuously every time we did something, right?
Yeah. And we learned a lot from the year before.
Yeah, for sure.
We need to kick it up.
Yeah.
Kick it up a notch.
Yeah, there's always something that we take from whether we accomplished it or we did it, right? So I think so it was January. January was the first thing, and on my birthday ran my first basically ultra marathon that I set up for myself. And it was 35 miles because I turned 35 years old. And Powell ran that with me. You were out there and got to freeze a little bit with us. And you were basically the roaming
aid station.
Roaming aid station. So
/ camera crew.
The cameraman. So that was a test for me because I've never ran that far, and it was just it was 35 miles we were out there for 6 hours or something like that. So it was a long time of running, and it hurt. It got to a point where it hurt, and it was cold. It was very cold because it's in January. And we were in an area where it made it even colder. You know what I mean? We weren't in open air or anything like that. It was in a really condensed trail with just trees all around you and a cold a lot of cover, a lot of cold. The river's right next to you and stuff like that. Was it kind of nice? Yeah, but it was dark.
It was a beautiful day though.
Yeah, later when we got out of there, later. But in there it was dark and gloomy and all that stuff. But it was cool. It was what I expected to get out of it, was going through that and seeing if I can push and overcome, and managing my body throughout and just feeling all of that, And I thought it was cool to see, especially because at the end, I was really hurting. I think it was the last 2 miles of that, my quads were going crazy. They were cramping up, and then I don't know what it is. It's always about a finish line. I can feel the cramps early on, and once I get to start seeing I'm getting closer to a finish line, fuck, I don't feel it no more for some reason. You know what I mean? But yeah, we were able to do that. And that day also, Pal came out. He ran 32 miles,
Which is his age.
which is his age.
Yeah.
So like it was just one of those days. Like I think the thing I learned the most that day was managing my body.
Yeah.
Like that was a big thing that I took into also that Tacoma Marathon. So yeah, that was really cool. Something to start the year off strong.
I was gonna say kick the year off strong on that one.
Yeah, like that was a very big deal to me. Was make sure I started the year strong so that something that challenged me, even if I wasn't physically like all the way prepared for, like just go do it, go through what you have to go through, grow through it, and learn what you got to learn. And that definitely taught me something, and I was able to take that into my next goal, which was Tacoma,
the sub 4.
Yeah, try and go again for the sub 4 marathon. Like I said again, sub 4 is not anything crazy to a lot of people. Like it's not shit to some people. Like it's almost like a walking pace for them. I don't care. This is my goal. Like that's what I'm doing. And I like that day I just felt great. Like I felt really good going into it. I felt like because I didn't miss a day. My whole goal throughout that training was do not miss a day. Do not miss any miles. If you're gonna like, there's no overlapping. There's no you miss a day, then you throw miles
Extra
onto another day. No, that's not how we're doing it. If you need to adjust, you're adjusting days. So if you can't run on a Friday, you need to find an open day and move that, or do it ahead of time. Like if you know something's going on this weekend, move that run to another day during the week. But you're gonna do everything, right? Yeah. So that was my goal for that, and I got through all of that, and I was able to run that Tacoma Marathon in 3:58, and I felt strong. I felt good, and now that makes me believe I can run even faster through it after everything that I've done, because I felt pretty damn good after that. Like I didn't feel like
it's night and day difference.
Yeah, and then I think even after now, after running Seattle at 407, like not pretty comfortably, right? I feel like I can definitely push, because Seattle had all those hills. Tacoma doesn't have that many hills.
That's what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, you have that last 13 where there's some hills towards at the end, but nothing crazy that's gonna get you the way Seattle.
Yeah,
push me through some fucking hills, So it'd be cool to try and maybe test that theory at some point. Test myself and see if I can possibly get like a sub 350 or something like that. Yeah. We did Tacoma, and then
Tacoma was the last big one.
My last.
And then Ironman.
Yeah. So Tacoma was definitely the last. Yeah, that's why I don't want to stay on it too much, because it was just it was all about, for me, I learned from redemption. That. It was all about the redemption and doing all the work and relying on that. Because remember, like I said for that video, I didn't think, even stepping up to that start line, I still didn't think I could do it, because none of my long runs did I hold that pace for that long. So I just didn't know, and I wasn't sure. So I just showed up to the start line, hoping that my body would hold up, and it held up really damn well, because I felt I just did training right this time. Did everything. I didn't get injured. Big point of that was not getting injured, because I got injured both times. I got injured, both times. For the first Seattle, and then the first Tacoma, I got injured right before. It's like calf and
like on one of your long runs. I remember that.
Yeah, it just all started just overtraining, and not training correctly. So I learned from those things, and then I moved it into Tacoma and to the next Tacoma, and I learned heart rate training is just fucking important. If you're going to be running a lot of miles and very often, heart rate training is very important to keep you. And then also not using carbon plated shoes. So big point of what I learned, right?
I wish I could wear those shoes.
You know what I'm saying?
They don't make it for me.
And that helped out a lot. I didn't get hurt, felt great going into it, didn't have to worry about an injury lingering. So we just went for it. And then I was able to hold paces comfortably throughout the whole thing. Body didn't feel fatigued, hitting the hills like I wanted to. And nothing felt crazy. Felt like the normal pains you should go through in a marathon, and the normal thoughts you should have, but then also having the way to say, you're not winning this time. I'm going to take over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because those the doubtful thoughts and all that, they come either way, because you're in pain. It's not something that's comfortable. It's not something that's fun while you're doing it. Those thoughts they will come at some point. You have to find something and makes you dig deep and say, I tried to catch it, especially for Seattle. I caught it like as it was coming, and I said, "No, we're not doing this," you know. And I did that first in Tacoma, and that's where I knew I have full control of this, you know. Unless my body just locks up on me, I have full control of this because your energy can drop because you let your mind get to you first, right? And then, so Tacoma, we accomplished the goal that I set out to do the year before, and I didn't, right? So it was cool to come back. Because I remember, like I said, after that marathon, I said, I don't even want to run another one. You know what I'm saying? That one sucked. So I didn't want to run another one. So it was cool to come back and actually accomplish what I set out to accomplish.
And feel good about it at the end.
Yeah, and feel good. I didn't feel like I was dying. So, and then after that, it was immediately right into training for Ironman.
Yeah.
And Ironman, we learned the most for sure. There was no doubt about it. That whole process of training and going through that, and not accomplishing it right, like, and failing, biggest lessons for me about who I am, like what I'm about, you know, and still and going through that process and how I deal with failure. Like that taught me a lot about who I am. And like
that's huge too, because a lot of people don't want to show their failures at all.
Yeah, you know? and you know that I guess it's cool, like for me, like because I don't really care about what people think. Like it doesn't matter because none of them were there with me training, and none of them felt that. None of them felt what I was going through. None of them had to deal with the things I had to deal with on a daily basis, and none of them had to deal with what I had to deal with in that water, you know, which basically is what got me kicked out of the water, right? And for me, I don't do this for validation, you know what I'm saying? Like I do it for inspiration. So I'm not posting for people to tell me that I'm good or I'm cool or I need kudos for it. I don't need that because I've learned, like, so when I had failed, bro, like, and I posted about it because I want people to know, because I do a lot of shit. And even with me doing everything that I'm doing and I train hard and all that stuff, I can still fail. Like it's a very good chance, right? I can still fail. And I wanted people to see that and know, like, and I'm not scared. I don't give a fuck what you think. Like, it doesn't matter because you weren't there. Like, I'm the one that's going through it. 99% of the time, I'm by myself. So nobody sees the shit that I'm going through. Nobody knows what I'm putting myself through on a daily basis. So you don't know. So I don't care what you think about it. But I do hope that people that do need the inspiration can take from it. You know what I mean? That's all I care about. Because I noticed when I posted about it, when I DNF, I got so much fucking, what do you call it?
Reactions,
engagement from it. So many people reached out, and you know, in my head, it could be maybe they want to lift me up, maybe they want to help me out, and say, you're still good, you're good, all this stuff. And it is nice, and I thank everybody for that. Like I'm not.
I was gonna say most of them, probably, some of them are. There's people out there definitely genuine about it.
Definitely genuine and sincere about it, and I get that. But there are a lot of people, and I know this, that were waiting for that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like they're waiting for that because they hate that, when they're watching people do stuff that they wanted to do or they thought they could do, and they just are too lazy to fucking go do it. Yeah. Like it's a fucking fact. And I'm not trying to fucking dig on people, but I know that's what it is. And I got so much engagement and so much stuff, like people like hitting me up about that. And sometimes I feel like it's like, but when I'm doing it and I'm actually accomplishing my goals, nobody's saying anything, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody says.
There's the difference.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's saying congratulations to me when I'm fucking doing the other stuff. Yeah. But as soon as I fail, everybody wants to fucking say something, man. Yeah. And it's like, there's a very big difference in that. And that's why I say I don't need a validation. I don't need you to tell me I'm good because I'm still going to get back to work and still going to go do this shit. Like, I don't need you to tell me that stuff. And because I know what I'm trying to do for myself. I know what I'm trying to do for the people around me. I know the people that I'm trying to help. There's a certain group of people that I'm trying to help. And if you want to do whatever the fuck you want to do, I don't care. Like the people that are like that, I know that are doing better than me or doing more than me or doing what I'm doing, they'll never say or think half the shit like negative about me. They'll never say anything stupid to me, right? But it's always the people that are not doing shit for themselves or not doing as good as me that will have something to say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to like put out any kind of negative vibes. I'm just really speaking what the truth, because I've seen how this has gone, throughout the years. And
You see
it's kind of
behind the
same thing.
scenes. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's the same. And I've met up with a lot of people and I kind of catch a vibe, a lot of times. And like I said, I don't care, dude. Like I do this shit 99% of the time by myself. So it's like I'm going through my battles and I'm growing through my battles and pushing myself constantly. And you wouldn't understand that. So why would I expect you I wouldn't expect you to understand what it is and how you can, have a conversation about the stuff or, even tell me or think that I need your validation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I don't need it. Not from anybody for real. Like I just don't because I do what I want to do and because I want to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm growing from it either way. Yeah. It might be at a slower pace than maybe some people think where I could grow faster in some way, but this is the way I want to do it and this is what I want to do and I'm only going to roll like that. So yeah, sorry, that was just like a side piece of everything. But Powell was able to accomplish the Ironman, finish the Ironman. That just brought a whole new light to the whole day and the whole time, me and Powell were training and everything like that. And, super happy for him because I know that's with everything that Powell's gone through, especially in the last couple of years, I was just happy to see him accomplish something like that. Man. You know what I mean? And that was just a year later from him even really starting the journey of endurance stuff. So it's really fucking cool. I did learn the big thing for the Ironman stuff was managing time, managing everything that I had to get through.
There's a lot you got to train for.
Yeah.
Three different
disciplines. Yeah. Bike, run, swim. I was still working. I'm still working. I mean, working my full-time job at the time. I'm still running everything here at Nesian Built. Then, my wife was pregnant at the time. So we have a baby on the way. We were moving out of our house. We were selling our house during that time. I was basically learning how to swim from zero. So actually learning how to technically swim. Yeah. So there's just a lot going on, but I was able to manage the time and go from where I didn't even, know if I could, it was I knew I was fit enough to complete the Ironman. I know that it's just the actual, what do you call that? Actual confidence in my ability to swim a mile. That's what really got me. And it wasn't
in a deep ass river.
Yeah. So all that just got to me. But just what I really took from it was really managing the time and knowing that even though I have that's why I don't really believe in excuses and stuff, because if I'm able to accomplish and still do all of that stuff, but it's because I'm being intentional with my time. It's not just me fucking hoping that I can find a gap or something like that in my time. It's being very intentional. I'm going to do this. I'm not going to do other bullshit. And I'm going to make sure that I basically have time slots for what I'm doing and getting in what I need to get in and then this is another, well, I'll get to that after, but yeah, just being very intentional with the time so that I can accomplish everything I need to accomplish. So there's downtime that's set intentionally. There's not downtime just whenever the fuck it shows up, and then I miss what I need to do. So that was training for Ironman that's why I don't want to, go into it this year, because with new baby here and all that stuff going on and everything else that I want to do, I pushed all that stuff off that I wanted to do last summer or this summer because of Ironman training. Yeah. And I don't want to push it off again. So all the stuff that I want to do with, MB Fit and MB Run Club, I want that to happen this year. So I'm going to make sure that we focus on that. Managing time, all that stuff. So that was definitely a big thing that I listened and learned from. But Ironman, that was in September, got that done, and it was cool. It was really cool experience overall, period. Even if I didn't finish it, it was a really good experience overall. Learned a lot. So, and got to see really a part of, the endurance game that I've never been around. I've never even been to a triathlon. I've never been to an Ironman. I've never seen it done, nothing.
Only through videos.
Yeah, just videos. I've never seen any of it. So it was cool just to be around it, kind of see.
A lot of energy.
There's a lot of energy, for sure. Yeah. People love doing that stuff, man.
What was that place?
That was Richland.
Yeah.
Richland, Washington.
Nice area.
Yeah. That's the first time they had it there, too. So a really nice area. And made us think about moving there, which is not totally out of the cards yet. So Yeah.
Feel sorry for the pickup orders. I gotta drive what?
It's only 2 or 3 hours. You'll be all right. Yeah. So yeah, that was
cool.
Ironman.
And then marathon was at the end. Seattle was at the end.
Yeah. And then we did Seattle Marathon.
We did a couple events this year.
Yeah. And we did.
Or you did this one.
So we did end up.
I helped a little bit.
We did the Guam Liberation Festival. That was in July, I think, early July, right?
Down here in Kent.
That was our first event of the year, pretty much. Really good event. Really a good way to start off events, you know. And then met a lot of people, still customers now too, right? So like it was really cool to talk to people, and then they find us there, and then they're coming through the shop, and we talk to them even more and learn more about them. Yeah. And then
Oregon.
Then we went. Was it Oregon?
We just did 2. Did we just those 2?
No, we did the
Shoe Gang. Yeah,
Shoe Gang was a big one too.
That was nice. That was a good one.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to go the way it went. Like I just thought, you know, because softball tournaments, we usually have a idea of what it's gonna be like, but that Shoe Gang, everybody came out strong for that one. So yeah, that was really cool, and I liked it because they have a lot of people that came out from out of state for that tournament, so they get to check out MB and all that, and then
met a few cool. Yeah, we met some cool people out there.
Yeah. So and then we went to Oregon, did the
Marianas
Festival. Yeah, and the events were cool because we learned. It was more like a transition into how we're setting up the tent and how we're doing.
Because
stuff.
The first one here was struggle bus,
big time.
And then you came up with that idea to wrap these things.
Yeah,
that was game changer.
Yeah, that helped. We did that for Shoe Gang, right? Yeah, that's the first time. Yeah, and then we did it again in Oregon, and that made setup and everything a lot easier,
so much faster.
Yeah, so you learn with everything, right? So everything's smoother too. And then there's certain things like the POS system that we changed that we basically just started this year that we're able to bring out. So when we bring that out, usually, so for the last couple of years, right, when we go out to events, we go out and we just basically put everything out there, and when we get back to the shop, we have to do a full ass inventory and then check everything that we have in our system, because in our system nothing changed yet, like in the inventory system,
which can be tricky when you have a website too.
Yeah, when the website's still running, you have stuff coming off the website at the same time as when you're at an event. So you might come back to orders and
there's nothing there.
It's actually sold out now. Like you already sold that item at the event. So we're able to add the POS system, and the POS system did a couple of good things for us, which POS is point of sale, right? So the POS system helped us keep track of inventory. Yep. And then also it
sped up the process.
For,
or at least the barcode scanner when we met.
We didn't have it shop, but in the events we didn't have that yet. But and then also kept our sales like all within one platform. So instead of, because we were using like Square and PayPal and all these different things, and that helped keep it all part of one system, one platform. So that was a really cool part. And we said it's just a process of learning and trying to make everything more efficient and easier. So yeah, and then I mean that was a fucking. I mean, damn, we didn't even talk about. We just moved into this place this year too.
Oh, that's right, February. So, damn, we went right past that.
Yeah, so
it was February, right?
Yeah, it was February.
Grand opening.
Yeah, we had the
this
grand
place
opening.
Looks totally different already. How many times have you rearranged this place, bro?
Multiple times.
From grand opening to
it changed a lot.
The dust can't even settle in here before we move it.
That's around. A good thing, because we're always moving. But yeah, we moved in here in February. Had the grand opening in March, I think it was.
That was a success. I liked that. We had a really good turnout.
It was cool. It was like you don't even realize the amount of support you have until you do something like that, and you see
our grand opening is bigger than our Black Friday.
Yeah. See, we learned from that too.
That's true.
Talk about that. But we had the grand opening, moved into space. We wanted to get out of the warehouse, man. The warehouse was killing us. It was freezing cold, and I already work at a warehouse during that time too, so I'm just freezing all day, and I don't want to fucking.
I didn't think about that though. The warehouse would be nice for this. It would have been, I think, a little bit more space when throwing this in there. But
I'm pretty sure we might have both. So so we came in here, got this place, able to have an actual storefront, not a warehouse. So storefront, and people could come in. We can have actual store hours, and even though it's limited, it's still with the store hours, because we still do work full-time jobs. So we have hours that we can open up, And like I said, I'm very intentional with it. And we have certain amount of days that we can open up, and I give another day on the weekend, and then the other day is like that's time that's intentional time with my family and doing that. Like I would love to have it open every damn day, but
we're not there yet.
Yeah, we're not doing that yet. Not yet. But yeah, it was definitely also a learning process with the in-store stuff, like getting in-store stuff and setting it up, and I mean, guess like learning from the events, like kind of how that works, and then just kind of implementing it here in shop. So that's a part of it, and then going through, like let's say, like going out throughout the year, just noticing how much it helps, like the brand, just having a location that people can come into and stuff like that, and how much like more insight we get from when we get to like meet up and link up with people more often. Because like what was it, 4 years ago, people were picking up orders at my house at my garage. So it's really cool just thinking about that, like where we had people picking up orders from my garage, and I was shipping orders from my garage, and then we moved to the warehouse and they're picking up at the warehouse, and it's like I don't even want it to stay at the warehouse long because there's so much stuff going on in there, and it's cold as hell. People are in there shivering. You can see the
you can see their breath.
Yeah, you can see their breath in the air. Like I don't want that for people, you know what I mean? So it's cool that we have this now, and honestly, we're 1 year in, not even a year in all the way, but we're growing out of it. But yeah, and then we had Black Friday, so we learned a lot from Black Friday. Like
that was an eye opener.
I know we're going from February all the way down to, but we already covered everything else. But yeah. Black Friday was definitely an eye opener for us.
Not what we thought.
Yeah, and it's not that I'm kind of disappointed in the way I set it up.
But also Black Friday, I think everywhere was like that.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like it's us not knowing, you know what I mean, and us trying to do something that was unnecessary. It's already, we're way past that kind of stuff, right? So the part that I'm disappointed in myself was the way I set it up, because
we did local first.
We let locals first, in store for like what is it? I think it was like
6 hours,
6 or 7 hours, dude. And I hate that I did that for that long. And next year it's either going to be like a 2-hour thing or not even going to happen at all, and it's going to be all at the same time, online and in store. Yeah. And because I'm like, the online was cool. It was nice to have, the people that wanted to get their stuff before the sale online. But it wasn't a turnout we were hoping for, at least, or we expected it to be better, but it wasn't. But online definitely made up for that. So it didn't matter if it wasn't as good as we expected. Online definitely made up for that, and definitely was the most we've done on a Black Friday. And even without the in-store sales, we still would have had the biggest Black Friday with the online sales. So
it kind of showed us where to focus our energy.
Yeah. So like, if you kind of understand what we're saying when talks to this, it's like more than likely focus is going to stay online. And that is the reason why, if you look, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can probably see behind Mark and stuff like that. MBHQ is transitioning to a gym, basically. Like half of it is turning into a gym, and then we set up the other half more of like a warehouse style shelving. It's not like just an in-store, right behind me, like in-store thing anymore. So
but you can, as of now, we can still pick up though.
People can still come in and buy stuff, and everything's still here, but the shop will have those same hours open. Back January, we'll be back open on Saturdays again, so we'll have that time. Come in and so Tuesday through Thursday, and then Saturdays open again. If you want to I have plans for a bunch of different things next year when it comes to like the stuff in here with MB Fit and NB Run Club. So people want to get workouts in, I'm going to be getting probably a bunch of 2-a-days in, because I've committed to something else also, as well. So this is going to help me out to accomplish those goals. But into the business side of it, we've been doing this for 6 years, And we really didn't get like real serious. I think I would say until the last 3 years. Last 3 years is when we really like made the jump. I think it was after 75 hard or during 75 hard when it was like, fuck, dude, there's a lot we can do. And that 75 hard kind of drove us into being able to get a shop and everything, like the warehouse and everything, get out of my garage. Yeah. But this was the first year that Nesian Build ever did over 6 figures in revenue, and
which was not even that.
it was
2 years ago was like. That was like, yeah, that's a goal. Sure, yeah, we'll get there someday. We'll get there.
And it's like everything else we've talked about. Like, oh, one day we'll get a shop.
Yeah,
but not really believing it. Kind of just saying
same deal. Yeah, same.
You know what I mean? How cool would it be to have a gym? You know, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's very hard to believe because you've never done it, and it's like,
and sometimes the expectation is not the same. Like the gym thing. Look, it's here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
not quite what I thought initially. What you were talking about, but. It's here. It's already started. To happen.
And it's every
just
time
like everything else. It's like it might not be what you thought it was.
Yeah,
but it's here.
Yeah,
you know.
And it starts at something, and then it turns into what we want it to be. You know what I mean? Yes. That's what I felt like it's always been. So as long as we started, that's why I'm always big on it. That's why I say we're gonna just do it. We're gonna start it, and then we'll see what it evolves into. You know what I mean? And that's what it's kind of. It's been with everything.
One thing I've learned from this thing is like, if you're gonna say it, you're gonna have to do it.
We have to, bro, because
it's just I'm used to saying things all the time. You know what I mean? And not really coming through. But I know here it's like, especially when you say it, it's like, oh fuck.
Because
eventually it's going to happen.
We got to prove ourselves right, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's cool to see though. It's definitely
So I mean, we have equipment in here, like, and it's for real, like, dude, this place. So where me and Mark used to work out at our gym and at the airport is not far off from what we have here. Exactly. Like literally when we started,
it's actually the same thing. It's this and the cable machine,
and those are the main ones. The only thing we don't have is the hack squat or the leg press.
Oh yeah.
That's like the only thing, and I think they have like a chest press in there, but it's not necessary. You have all this stuff, so it's crazy. Like it's full circle, right? Like we started as workout partners.
All we need is elliptical.
Get no fucking elliptical, bro. Oh my god, we get a treadmill before we get an elliptical.
But the way it started out,
it's crazy, bro. And so we have this now, and then we don't know what this is gonna evolve into. You know what I mean? Like get these ideas because I just feel like it's leading more and more into what Nesian Build is truly gonna be. You know, when it's all said and done, what it's really it's just evolving closer and closer to what it's gonna be. And we don't know exactly, right? It's a clothing brand right now, and we push
mindset.
Yeah, we push mindset, fitness, stuff like that. And then we don't know what else it grows into. So I want it to be a lot of things. And if it ever turns into what I really believe at the very top that it's gonna be, we're moving in the right direction. That's all I can really say.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this was our first year just sending like 6 figures, man, for a clothing brand that pushes a mindset and stuff that's not normal or
it's not very I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like it's not the normal or the most common thing in our in our nature of where we come from. But us pushing that and being able to even just hit that point. It's crazy because I used to watch these people go online on YouTube and stuff like that. I'm like, 6 figures, dude, how did you do that? I know now how much work it takes. It's a fucking lot of work to do that.
There's definitely other ways to do it, but yeah.
Yeah, and this is with us also staying. So we're talking about being a brand with, we're very different from other people. We're very simple with the clothing because we're really pushing the mindset stuff, the fitness stuff. That's more important, right? We're selling the mindset, of it. And then we're also one of the most affordable brands you can buy. Like we're not out here charging crazy amounts, and I think what we price our stuff at is very, very. I mean, I understand brands that price their stuff at certain points. I understand why you do it, and I understand all of that. But we price it at our price points for certain reasons that stick to my values and what I believe when it comes to, especially in all of this. And it's so much bigger than just, the amount of money we're making, or the amount of revenue we bring in. But it is a good milestone for us to know that we are growing. That is the biggest point, right? So even though we did hit, that milestone of making over 6 figures in revenue in a year, it's really about the lessons that we're learning and the systems that we've created to make it worked. And the crazy part about that is since like working on the brand, like this year, I've probably worked less on it than I have in the past 2-3 years because I had stuff already set up in place with how it can work, and we already know how to make it work better. And then I was able to kind of outsource stuff, and so I'm not hit on that damn heat press all the damn time, right? So outsource some stuff. Also knowing the concepts that our people like the most makes it really a lot easier. And then it's just because I was very intentional. When I am here, I'm doing stuff. I'm doing the stuff that needs to get done to move the brand forward. And then I think it was really big. Like on Friday nights, I set that out basically for the year. Friday was like, all right, the shop's closed, but that's family time. Intentional family time. Nothing's gonna bother that. I'm not opening the shop for nothing. I'm not doing nothing. Sunday, same thing. Sundays is whatever training I got in the morning, knock that out, and it's family time. It doesn't matter what the shop needs. I'm staying there. That's family time. So everything is well balanced all around, and everything can get done. Because when I'm here, I'm here. You know, when I'm at home, you know, of course, there's always times when I might be at home and I'm on my phone, or I might have to put in orders or do something like that. But other than that, intentional with everything. And I think that helped out a lot with me also learning from the last like 2 years that I'm about to burn myself out. I need to figure something out, figure out ways to make this shit work without me going crazy. So yeah, we pushed and we got to this point, and 6 figures in revenue, really cool. Something that we talked about 2-3 years ago even. It's like, no, how cool would that be if we get it to that point? We didn't even know what it looked like when we were talking about it back then. And basically we just saw what it looked like this year, how we were able to get it to that point.
And again, still not what exactly we expected.
It's not what we thought it
was going to look like.
Yeah, exactly.
It sounds good. It sounds great. But it's like, yeah, that's great. But
it doesn't change up here. For me, it doesn't change like up here, like, oh, we made it. Like, it doesn't feel like that at all. It feels like,
especially when you want to continue to push and grow, you can't just sit back now. Because now you're pushing the envelope more. Yeah. So you're going to need more. You know what I mean?
You're going to have to do more. And that's what I think is cool, is because being able to be more intentional and get stuff done when it needs to get done, and still reach this point this year. And I didn't feel like I was burning out. The only time was Ironman training was getting me tired as hell. But other than that, like, I was very intentional and was able to get everything done and reach that goal this year. It's crazy, bro. It's so crazy. It's cool. It's so nice to see like your work, you know.
I think when you first said it that way, for a 6-figure brand, it clicked. I'm like, holy crap, dude. You're right. Yeah. Especially when we're coming closer and closer to hitting the goal.
Yeah. And you can, because I scroll back a lot in our social media stuff, and I look back at, you know, the posts and everything like that. And I think it's cool because this post that we have like way back, like then 4 or 5 years ago, that post that we have like now, same amount of likes and everything. But it don't look the same, you know, because I mean, there's people that there's stuff that, you know, you learn that people like and stuff like that. And then there's ways to work it. Like, likes don't mean sales, dog. And, you know, it's all that. Like, people might think a lot of time, like, oh, your followers amount to sales, your posts.
That's what we thought.
Your posts looking so cool might have amount to sales. There's a whole lot that goes into it. And that's why I'm really big on brand, because brand is deep. Brand is more than designs and stuff like that. I feel like it means something to people, and if it can mean something to people, they kind of
resonate with them.
It'll and help them. You know, then it'll sit. So we reached that goal, and it was super thankful, man. We couldn't do without everybody that follows us and, you know, supports what we do and everything we have done in the past, and everybody that supported us in the past. Everybody that we see growing out there, everybody we see doing things different, a little different than what they used to do to better themselves and stuff like that, because you might have caught something or just heard about the brand and what we're about. So like super, super grateful for all of it, and super grateful for this year and everything we were able to do and succeed and fail at either way. So this was a goal that
either way we're learning.
6 figures was definitely a big goal that I always said. I set out. I even typed it in my phone one time, and you know, I typed it in my phone 2 years ago, and we just didn't hit the goal those 2 years, and then we finally made it this year. So, but it honestly doesn't feel like what I thought, like we just talked about. So, but it's nice to know that we've reached that, and we have further to push and a lot of work to do still. So yeah, buddy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, man. It's crazy how far we've come. But I really hope this is gonna lead us into like the big part that I want to push into next year's community stuff, like building community, building and being around more people that are interested in growing. Like I'm not trying to, if you don't want to fucking do it, it doesn't matter to me. That's up to you. You get to choose what you do. But we're gonna be here for anybody. So basically what we're gonna be calling this whole thing is MB Fit, right? So MB Fit is gonna be MB Run Club with group workouts as well, which I've created the workouts and I've made it in a way that anybody can do it, both running and the kind of strength training or muscular endurance stuff, all that stuff. Like it's all going to be mixed in to help you overall. And if you want to run, you can come on the MB Run Club days. If you don't want to, don't come. And if you want to come for the group workout days, which I think is going to be really fun, challenging, competitive, but anybody can do it because of the way I'm basing it all off of everything that I'm setting, the way I'm setting it up. So it will be most likely outdoors, at least for now. And then
just wait till we get a bigger place.
And so that's going to be a really big part. And this is something that I actually wanted to do earlier this year, but I just didn't get to it because of Ironman stuff. And that's why I'm saying this next year, 2025 is all focused on taking what I've learned and everything we've done to spread that to the community and help with when it comes to fitness mindset and stuff like that. Like because and then build that family here. Like I really want to build that family here because we have a lot of people that come like when we have these events or they do things outside. But how cool would it be for everybody to just link up, a couple times a month here at MBHQ or wherever the hell we plan on meeting up at to get a workout in. Because I've always learned, especially in the Army, dude, when I was in the Army, every time we did some hard ass training or like we got through some hard ass training, that is when the camaraderie came. That is when you felt closest to people. It's not when you did easy shit. It's not when, you were sweeping up bathrooms or, just some dumb shit. But when you sit here, you challenge yourself and you have other people there to motivate you, inspire you and help you through those challenges. That's when people get closer and that's when people really can win together. So that's what I want to build next year. And I don't care if we start out with 3 people, 4 people, whatever we have, we're going to go with and we're going to just go from there because what we have now, even with just the people that just did the marathon, half marathon, geez, that's the starting group right there, basically, right? Yeah. And then we have other people. I mean, my wife and everybody, we have people they're going to be part of this. And if you have kids, the kids will be involved. My son, my oldest son is going to be part of this. I have family. I have nephews that are going to be part of it too. So it's all part of a growing family, basically, right? So big thing I want to push next year. And I'm trying to find out when I'm going to start that. The workout stuff, we'll probably just start. I mean, if you want to come in January, if you're already starting and during our store hours and you want to get something, because I'm going to probably be working out at night.
If your gym is too crowded.
Then
if your local gym is too crowded,
And then, we're going to be doing a lot of that next year. That's, like I said, MB Fit is going to be your MB Run Club group workouts, and then it's going to be basically alternating weekends what we do. So we'll run like twice a month and do the group workouts twice a month. So it'll be something like that on the weekends. We'll create something as a group on probably like a MB Facebook group, right? That's what you call it, Facebook group, and so that people can jump into there. We can put out information, and
and come along,
and everybody knows where to go, where to show up, and what we're doing, stuff like that.
Do you have to be at a certain fitness level to join?
You don't have to be. You can be wherever you are. Yeah. And just like I said, doesn't matter the pace, doesn't matter where you're at. There's ways that we can adjust all of it to make sure that you can do something, because that's all that matters. Like when you're coming here, I can promise you that whatever we're doing, it will challenge you, but I am not a person that will allow any kind of negativity to come around and discourage you from wanting to do the work that you want to do for yourself. But if it's been something that's you've been
thinking about,
and then but you've been shying away from because you're scared of the discouragement from other people, or you're worried about the wherever you're at in that, whatever level you're at. I don't care about that shit. And the people that are going to be here, I can promise you that they are not the type of people that are going to care about that or judge you either. They care more about you being here and you wanting to better yourself anyway. So just know that that's the kind of environment that we're going to create. That's the kind of environment of the people that we already have in our group. So that's what we're going to keep going, because people won't start for that reason, for that judgment reason, or a very big reason why they won't start, is because
stepping
of
out the comfort zone, putting yourself out there.
And they're worried about, oh, I can't lift as much as this person, I can't run as fast as we don't care, but you got to start somewhere, and that's why we're here. We're creating that starting point for people to be able to come and get their health and their fitness and whatever, if it's that weight loss that you're really focused on. This is a start point. All right, like this is where, if you need to do something and something that you can do consistently, this is the spot now where I'd be really happy that you started if you need it, So yeah,
that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be some cool shit. So I've also, you got anything else on that?
No. I just no. I just want to make sure people know you don't have to be a certain.
And that's big point. That's good that you
just take a leap of faith.
And trust it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be challenging. It's gonna be.
You're probably gonna be nervous. I'm just thinking people like who would be in my shoes. Like, oh, I would love to, but I don't know about that.
We all have a place that we need to start in. Like I'm like I said again, like I'm more than happy to help somebody no matter where their starting point is, and I don't expect, and I don't fucking judge at all, because I know what it's like to not be at the level of people that you might look up to, and I know like all that. I know the feeling of all that stuff, and if a lot of people that a lot of people that especially from high school and everything, man, I've always been the type of person that always wanted to help the ones that were kind of on the lower side, that didn't have the confidence or didn't believe in themselves, that I wanted to be the person that gave them that confidence and help them build that confidence for themselves. But that's what I want to do here. So we're going to be doing that. I've committed this year for the year 2025.
Are we on goals?
Yeah, it's kind of a goal, but it's nothing that to me, it just seems crazy because I know of all the obstacles that I faced throughout the year, and that's really going to be the biggest challenge there. And I just hope I don't get injured training for any races or anything. But I've committed to running at least 3 miles a day. So I'll run
every day
of 2025. I'll be running 3 miles. I cannot skip a day and throw 3 miles on another run. I can't do shit like that. It has to be every day I find time to run 3 miles.
Yeah.
So if I do that late at night, if I do that early in the morning, if I do it in the middle of the day, it doesn't matter. I have to get it done. That's me. That's a no excuse mindset where I get it done no matter what. That's what that teaches me. It's not teaching me to fucking be the fastest motherfucking runner. Like, understand that concept of it. Doing the work is not all about just the physical outcome of it. It's about the mental, the mindset that you get out of it. Of there's always a way you can figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's because I love running this business, and this brand, and I want to show people that. I'll tell you.
How many miles is that in a year? It's over 1,000.
So I ran over 1,100 this year, and that's around, just with the 3 miles per day, is around 1,100, I think. Yeah, something like that. So I'll be running far more than that, than 1,100, because still training for the marathon.
Yeah.
We'll have MB Run Club.
That's just your minimum.
Yeah, that's the minimum. So I have the training for the marathon still. I mean, shit, we're only like 7 weeks out from Austin Marathon. So yeah. I'm putting in a lot of miles this year.
Right off the bat.
Right off the bat. We're not holding back this year. Yeah. So you got anything that are you scared to put it out? Because you might not.
If I say it here, it's gonna have to happen. I was torn between doing that full at the Tacoma or not. I think I'm leaning towards half still.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I definitely think I got to run Seattle back though.
No. Got to make sure.
Yeah. I got to make sure.
I think you should.
Yeah.
I honestly wish you would have just ran Tacoma.
I thought about that. Yeah,
but because they have early start there, all that stuff too.
That's true. That is true.
But that's what 4 months, 5 months out. It's early May, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd have to start now again my training program to get that.
And what's wrong with that? What's wrong
There's
with
nothing
starting?
wrong with that. You're right.
Yeah. you just don't want to because you remember the pain.
But I definitely, after experiencing Seattle, I'm like, man, I should probably run that back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I can tell you this.
Or I could do them both.
I mean, you could, yeah. I mean, I can tell you this. The training will feel easier for you.
Yeah.
The training for the marathon will feel easier for you.
Yeah.
And as long as you do
the
extra work.
Yeah.
But you already did that work, right? That was like the breaking.
Yeah. The icebreaker.
Yeah, the icebreaker. And you felt all those runs and all those mileage. And you didn't feel that, the 18-mile, the 20-mile runs before. And you felt that now. So you go into this training, it's like, it's less
I'm going to get to that halfway point. I'm going to look at the finish line like, damn, I should have done the half. You're going to take that right at the bell and just like, fuck, I should have done that.
It is different. I tell you that much. It's definitely a different feeling. But I'm pretty sure we're doing the half, me and Ching. So, yeah. So... And I think the guys are too. I think Vince and Joe are doing the half. I'm not sure if they're doing the full or they're the half. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll have talks at the NBA.
See, that's why I want to do the half.
So then do the half.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
Ain't nobody forcing you to do shit. You can do whatever you want.
That's what your eyes are telling me right now.
I was just saying that Tacoma because it's a better, I think.
I do like the fact that Tacoma has the early start.
Yeah.
I still might even start early on the half. So by the time I get to the halfway point, you guys are going to be, well past me. Still waiting on me at the end.
No, see, and then, I mean, it's good that you even have the thought because, right? I mean, the whole time before you're training for Seattle, you're like, bro, once this is done, I'm never running a marathon
That's
again.
true, yeah. That's exactly what, in the middle of it, too. It's like, everybody says, dude.
Yeah, everybody says it. And then once they accomplish it, I would sign up for another.
Yeah. I just needed like a day or two to come down from it.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, fuck, I did it already. I'm going to do it again. Talking shit now until I get back into training. It's like, oh,
fuck this.
I'll do half. I'll do half in Seattle again.
Okay.
That'll be my my set for this year. And then getting more fucking workouts in this year. Because I didn't do... Let's just be honest. I did jack shit this year.
Yeah,
I did here and there.
This is the guy that's running NB with me. So
see them guns right there.
You can understand what I'm going
That's
through.
really why AJ put this here because there is no excuse now.
Yeah, that was a very big reason why. Because I'm like, this dude, I know he's not lifting any weights.
No,
he was running, but he was not lifting any weights.
No, I found that kind of hard to balance too. It's like, damn, dude, because I'm a heavier dude. When it comes to the leg stuff, it's like. It's either I'm going to use this for lifting or I'm going to use this for running. It's going to be one or two for me. But I know that's not true. But, that's my thought process on it.
Shit. You're just full of shit.
That was my justification.
That's your story.
Yeah.
We
definitely lift more this year.
I mean, like you said, no excuse not to.
No excuse not to now.
It's right here.
My son's going to be in here with me too.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm going to bring him in here.
Yeah, because he's wrestling. So
he's wrestling now. So we got
to toss some people around.
Last 2 days, I've been having him do kettlebell workouts.
Yeah. At home. There you go.
He's hurting.
All right, then. Shit. Yeah, I think that's everything for this year.
Yeah. Going into next year, that's everything next year?
Yeah, next year. I think pretty much that's everything. I don't think there's anything other than like I said, the focus is on MB Fit and the Run Club stuff, and definitely more gear coming out. We're gonna definitely try some things that we haven't tried before. I have some ideas of
what you want to drop,
like accessories and stuff like that too.
Yeah,
and like more stuff like that. So, shit, we might even come out with our own shoe next year or something. I don't know.
Snaps.
Don't tempt me.
Start with Zori, dude.
Everybody does Zori. That's what I know. Everybody does Zori. I'm be there for someone actual shoe, dog. But yeah, man. That was 2024. 2024 was
an eventful year.
Eventful. I think it was the best year so far on the journey.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, a lot of successes. Big time fail. A lot of failures, small, micro failures throughout the year too. Just a lot of things going on. So a lot of, figuring stuff out still, like a lot of learning, a lot of, just tests, man. Like how far can you push it? How much more do you really want to go? Like how much do you really want it kind of days, and I appreciate those a lot. So just how do we manage it? How do we keep getting better, even when you don't want to get better? So 2024 was definitely one of those years where I definitely felt all the work for the past couple of years come through and help propel us to, a certain point. And then we just see how much further we go next year and how much further we can bring other people along with us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. And yeah, in case you haven't checked out, we had BBC Chronicles is another portion of the podcast. Yeah. So if you haven't checked that out yet, check that out. It's me, Will, and Pao.
It's on this channel.
It's on our pod. Yeah, it's on NB pod. It's just us speaking our truths and telling our stories and the stuff we're learning for real, like in a more raw sense on that version. Because when we have our conversations, it's pretty damn raw. We're pretty straightforward with how we talk to each other, and because we know what we can get out of each other, and what especially the three of us, what we're trying to accomplish as fathers and everything like that. So we push pretty hard with what we do, and we like to talk about it. So check that out if you haven't. We got another one coming up next month, some point. Pretty much every month. Yeah, pretty much one a month. And then me and him are going to be talking about how often this is going to be coming out next year. That's another commitment that we will be way more on point with, because like I said, intentional time, if you're intentional, you can get a lot done. Yeah. So we'll be way more intentional with that and make sure that we get a lot more podcast episodes out, because we're at 42 and
I don't even know how many you dropped this year.
Not enough. I'll tell you that. Yeah. So we're going to get more out next year. We'll have more guests on. I already have a couple people lined up. So expect those, and then we'll keep rolling. We'll keep learning, and we'll talk about everything that we're doing with MB Fit and all that. So everything that's going on, we're gonna be spinning it out. But yeah, anything else?
No.
Congratulations, man!
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Good job. I was excited to see you come through.
Finally, 2 years behind you guys.
Yeah, 2025 can be a big year for you. Only if you change the habits that you hold. Like, if not, you're going to be doing the same thing. You'll begin the same results, and change the little things, change the habits, and actually go for goals that you want instead of just speaking them and saying them. Actually do what you have to do and show some action and put forth action towards those goals, and probably not give up on January 22nd or whatever it is.
I heard an ad. They said the second Friday of January
is Quitter's Day.
I was like, whoa, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because it's for just
even if you fall, just keep
your word to yourself for once, man. Like that's
like sound like you're frustrated.
Like it's just like crazy, bro. Like kind of, because there's something when I hear people always people love to talk, like just say things, and that gives you the dopamine hit to make you feel good without even doing the thing you said you would do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So try accomplishing the thing that you said you would do, and then watch how that feels. There's way more dopamine in that than
or just don't say it.
Just don't say it if you're not actually going to do it.
Say it and just do it then. Maybe that'll work.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. But I hope 2025 is a better year for you and gets even better for you and your family, and you get a better you. Like we always say.
Yeah.
Go out. Be your best. Always do that shit. Let's go.
And if I can do it, so can you.
Said the haters in the morning way before the sunrise. Didn't give us warning. How can this